What's up, everyone, and welcome to Go Figure, the podcast where we cut the fluff, get real, and dive into everything fitness, health, and life. I'm Lori Fetrick, former American Gladiator Ice.
And I'm Ashley Randall, certified trainer, wellness coach, and your go-to for keeping it real about living your best life.
Here on Go Figure, we're busting myths, sharing truths, and having the conversations that make you stop and say, Go Figure.
From fitness fads to mindset shifts and everything in between, we're here for the stuff you didn't know you needed to hear.
Crushing it, stuck in a rut, or just trying to keep it together, we've been there.
So get ready to laugh, learn, and level up. This is Go Figure. Let's do this.
Welcome to Go Figure, a new podcast series here on Chillin' with Ice. This podcast is where fitness, wellness, and real talk collide. I'm your host, Lori Fetrick, along with the incredible Ashley Randall. Welcome back to Go Figure today, and this podcast is sponsored by VShred, and we're very excited today. We're going to get into a subject that can be very controversial. Yes, very spicy.
My favorite.
Controversial to where it's like either you really agree or you disagree, and there's a lot of opinions on it. And that topic today is Ozempic.
Yeah.
So
The shot. Yeah, so Lori and I are going to definitely ruffle some feathers today, which quite frankly is my favorite type of conversation to have. I love a good feather ruffle. But yeah, I mean, literally no bullshit. Like, I think you'll hear from both of us very candidly how we feel about this, what we think about it. Not my personal experience, because I would never inject that in my body, but I guess my secondhand experience from people that have. I'm sure same as you. So yeah.
So let's get into what it actually is. Okay, so Ozempic is a GLP-1. And a GLP-1, I actually took some notes on this because of the fact that it does get a little technical. But when you actually eat, GLP-1 is actually released into your intestines. And it signals your pancreas to release insulin. So the GLP also suppresses glucagon.
Yes.
Glucagon. That's what it is, which prevents your liver from actually dumping more sugar into your blood. It slows down your gastric emptying of your stomach, so you feel full more often, and it reduces your appetite to signal, and it reduces the signal to your brain that you're full.
Yeah.
So it may sound, oh my God, this is great, but it actually is a diabetic drug.
Correct, which is what it was intended for.
Correct.
And then everyone just got all cray-cray. And
Way
realized
cray-cray.
what they could do with it. Yeah.
Do you think people got cray-cray with it, or they started marketing it to these overweight people, and that's how it started taking off?
I mean, I don't know. I wish I did. I think it was a little bit of both. I think it's like an accidental thing. I think there was probably people, diabetics, that probably needed or had extreme weight loss on it. And then I think maybe somewhere along the way, someone was like, oh shit, this is a weight loss drug.
Right.
Or this could be a weight loss drug. And then I think there was, and like I said, I think Lori and I will be very, very candid, then Big Pharma, which is like the most disgusting money hungry people out there.
Agreed.
Are like, what does everyone want to do? People will go into psychotic debt to be skinny, to be thin. So their whole thing is like, okay, perfect. We will sell this up the ass then to any and everybody who wants to be skinny.
Here's the thing though. First of all, it's not cheap.
No.
If you don't have diabetes, type 2 diabetes, you have to pay for it out of your own pocket.
Yes.
It can be anywhere from $1,000 to $1,300 a month.
Yep.
A month. And this is something that you just don't, okay, so this is where we're going to get into the weeds of this a little bit. And that is, this is a drug that you just don't go on for short term.
No.
If you don't change your eating habits,
Correct.
You don't start moving your body, okay, and learning how to treat your body right to lose the weight.
Correct.
Because if you're on this short term, you're going to gain your weight back plus some.
Yeah.
Quickly.
If you go off of it, you mean?
Yes, if you go off of it.
100%. 100%.
So are you going to spend $1,000 a month the rest of your life just to stay on
You'll
it and
die.
stay skinny? You'll die. It's not a long-term drug.
Like you, I took some notes and like wanted to share as well, because I do think it's an important thing to not just like bash it,
Right.
And just, I am not a fan, but I do still think that there's some other things that are important, more than just like our kind of opinion. But as you mentioned, like gastrointestinal issues. Okay, that's a huge one, because as you said, it slows down the emptying of the stomach. So when you slow down the emptying, yes, you feel full longer, but what do you think that means? It's not, at least with like gastric bypass, they made your stomach smaller. So less food could go in there. This, you still have as big of a stomach. You're just having these issues. So the food's just staying in there. So people are literally not going poop for days, if not weeks on end. They are having food just sit in their stomach.
Which is fermenting.
Correct. It's rotting. It's fermenting. It's growing bacteria.
Yep.
Then you have all kinds of gut issues. Your microbiome is all thrown off. You can have parasites. You can have this whole other world of issues.
Huge.
Just right. That's just the,
that's just that
the gut
part of
Correct.
it. That's just that part.
Correct. Then you've got gallbladder issues. I actually have a girlfriend who was taking this. She just had to have her gallbladder removed this year because it was under so much stress.
Wow.
Going through this. I mean, she thought she just was having heartburn. You know, she went to the emergency room a couple times. They were like, no, finally they figured it out. And then she was like, I don't want to go in and take this out. It just kept getting worse and worse. I mean, to the point where she would go in, they'd put her on a morphine drip just to help with how much pain she was under.
Wow.
Send her home with some meds and be like, you need to schedule this. She finally got it removed.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. She had to have her gallbladder removed. And here's the one thing probably that they told her to do. You have to go off of Ozempic for 2 to 3 weeks before any surgery.
Oh.
The reason why is because if you think about it, they have actually had people die. I'm not even, it's a fact because I actually just talked to one of my friends. She works in the ER and she's a nurse and she goes, yes, now the requirement is you have to go off Ozempic 2 to 3 weeks before any surgery because any food that is not digested in your stomach, you can aspirate under surgery.
Shit.
That's why you have an empty stomach going into surgery.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
But if you're on Ozempic and your stomach is not completely empty, you could aspirate and you could die.
Okay.
Boom.
Right there.
I mean,
end of the episode. Why the fuck are you taking Ozempic?
Well, there are people out there, and I'm gonna go here for a second. There are people out there that have. I'm gonna say this smiling. You have tried everything. Okay, you've tried everything. You've went into the gym. You've tried exercising, and it's just not working for you. I mean, we can talk about this all day long. You haven't tried maybe hard enough. I don't know. But then again, there are people out there that need a jump start, a boost.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
For sure.
You know, especially if you really need 50 to 100, 150 pounds overweight.
Yes.
Okay. You need this kind of stuff.
Yes.
To get you bumped to starting.
Yes.
But anybody who's out there that just wants to lose 15, 20 pounds, this is not the way to do it.
No.
It's going to backfire. And it's going to lead you down a road to where you're just going to be so unhappy going further.
Correct.
You know,
and I mean, what you said, I do agree with that. I have a client right now that I'm working with on her nutrition, and she has 4 babies. She's gone through a lot. Her body has gone through a lot of weight gain, all of the things. And she did it last year and she lost, I think, like 40, 45 pounds. But now she's working with me.
Okay.
We're working on her nutrition. She busts her ass in the gym. And is she where she wants to be physically? No. But she stopped Ozempic before she got there because of what you're saying, because she knew that the rest of it comes from the hard work. It's not a matter of just take it until I get to be this rail skinny, no muscle thing, which is important because what a lot of people are hearing, but I don't think, and this is the part
sinking
that like,
in.
yeah, it's like not sinking in, but also it's like the thing when you tell the 20-year-old, time's going to go by fat, whatever. And they're like, and then they turn 40 and they're like, oh shit,
fuck.
what happened? The amount of muscle loss that is lost from people, whether you have it or don't have it. And let's be honest, most people on Ozempic aren't walking around like you and I with a shit ton of muscle.
No.
So they're the people, like you said, that are already 50 pounds, 20 pounds, 100 pounds overweight. Therefore, they probably don't have any muscle or very, very minimal. So then you put them on this drug or they put themselves on this drug. They lose a bunch of fat, still don't have any muscle. And now their skeletal system is literally trying to hold themselves up with nothing. There is no muscle.
Right.
I have a client, she's actually a friend of a client who had the flu earlier this year. She was on the shot, as they like to call it out here in California, which that's another thing. I did not hear about this nearly as much in Denver.
I'm sure.
When I was living in Colorado for the past 3 years, like this was not the buzz.
Right.
And I've been in this industry like you. So it's not like I just showed up here. As soon as I came back here to Southern California, it is like any and everybody, moms at school, drop off, people at the gym, 20-year-olds, 50-year-olds. It doesn't matter.
Well, you know why that is though.
Well,
it's our entertainment industry.
Correct.
We've got all these, all these women, men that are in their entertainment industry that are overweight, and now they're taking Ozempic, and then
but
they're like,
stay-at-home
hey.
moms that are in the carpool line that just want to be skinny and just want to take like mommy Adderall, and they're done with that now. So now they're going to take Ozempic. Like that shit, I don't have any tolerance for.
But then what happens is when they lose all this weight, now what's happening is you'll start listening to it and hearing it on podcasts and the news and everything. It's called Ozempic face.
Well, let me tell you what happened to this lady. So she got the flu. I think it was like in January, February, it doesn't matter. While she was throwing up, again, this is all just flu related. While she was throwing up, she cracked a rib. Okay. Just from the vomiting, her body did not have the structure, the muscle to keep herself together. So the wrenching and the flexing cracked her rib. Damn. That to me is so fucking insane. Yeah. Like, if you're that frail, if you've had that much nutrients leached from your body and you have that little skeletal muscle, and this isn't a person who's like, you wouldn't see her and be like, oh my gosh, you're going to blow away in the wind.
Right.
But what's on her is not muscle. Her bones are not strong. And so just from having the flu, just from throwing up, this happened. So then she's on bed rest. Because it's like, well,
which is even worse.
I'm recovering from the flu. I also am recovering from a cracked rib that I basically did to myself. So yeah, so now what? Now you're not doing any type of resistance. You're not like, it's so insane to me, the repercussions. And I think it's because the repercussions and the side effects, the damage, whatever word you want to use, are relatively longer term than, and I'm going extreme here, but I think we need to use an extreme, than something like heroin, where it's like, if you get a bad dose of heroin and you die, like it's immediate. But I'm being serious.
No, I know.
Or like, let's say you're like partying and
Yeah.
like you do some coke and there's bad coke.
Right.
Immediately you're going to suffer.
Right.
This is kind of the same thing. You're just delaying it.
Yeah.
You're putting something in your body that you really don't have any idea what it's doing. And in 3, 6, 9, 12 months, you're going to be like, oh, fuck, my bone density has dramatically dropped. Oh, shit, I need to have my gallbladder taken out. Oh, like there's shit that's coming. It's just not as immediate as these other, skinny drugs.
Well, think of it this way. They're eating shit most likely before they get on Ozempic because they're overweight, and that's the reason why they're not eating healthy whatsoever. They're eating crap food. So they're going to get on Ozempic, continue the crap food. By the way, it'll just be in a smaller amount because it makes you feel full. Yeah. It signals that brain up to your brain of, okay, you're full now.
But you're not full because remember, the food's just in there.
Correct. It's just sitting in there. Exactly. So it's just this constant, they're eating shit. They're not learning how to do it. They take a shot. They lose all this weight. Now, let's hypothetically say that you're at 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And let's just take a round number, 2,000 calories to exist.
Okay.
So now you take that 2,000 because that's what you have to eat to hold that 200 pounds.
Right.
Well, now you start taking Ozempic. You're still eating the shit food, no protein. Yeah. I mean, really terrible carbs, a ton of fat.
Right.
And it's just, there's no muscle. Right? So you lose a bunch of weight, you lose more muscle weight. So now that you're used to eating that 2,000 calories to keep that 200 pounds. And then all of a sudden you lose all this weight and you're like, well, why can't I still eat that 2,000 calories?
Correct.
Well, because you've lost your engine to burn the fat, which is the muscle.
Correct.
So you're losing more muscle. So now you're down to more like 1,500 calories, but they're still eating 2,000 calories, maybe not on Ozempic, okay? Because their appetite's decreased. Yeah. They get off it, they gain the weight back. Not only they gain weight back, they gain that weight more back because now they're eating the 2,000 calories still, and they don't have any of that muscle even left on their body to burn it. So now they're gaining more weight.
Correct.
And if people really, really, really understood this, they might think twice before taking it.
I mean, I hope that they would. I heard a woman today in the gym, one of the trainers was training her virtually, and she literally said, I know you told me not to do that shot, but I just want to try it because I'm just so curious to see what it's going to do to my body. And I wanted to rip that fucking computer out of his hands and look at this woman that I'd never met before and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right. Because they're not educated,
see what it's going
to
do to your body. It's going to fuck you up.
That's the problem. Nobody's educating these people. And like I said before, I was on my way home from the gym yesterday and I literally heard a commercial of, oh, well, you can't get Ozempic from your doctor. We've got it. We can mail it to you. No prescription, no doctor's order.
No regulation.
No regulation.
So then that brings me back. I know it's extreme, but it brings me back to like doing the heroin or the coke.
Yes.
You don't know where the fuck you're getting this.
You have no idea.
You're getting it from some company that's like, are you getting 1% Ozempic and 99% saline? Like you don't know what you're getting when you buy this shit.
And it's the new magic pill. Mm-hmm. There is no magic pill.
There is no fucking magic pill.
There is no magic pill. You've got to put the work in. But people don't understand that and they still get lazy as human beings. That's who we are. We always try to find the easy way out. There is no easy way out when you want to lose weight.
There isn't.
You just have to be in a calorie deficit and actually move your body.
Yes.
It's super fucking simple.
It is so simple. It is so simple, but it is so important because of, you know, we just talked about this kind of in the last episode, but because of someone like you, like your age, your muscle mass that you're still able to hold. Do you think that came from just being skinny your whole life? Fuck no. That came from Lori busting her ass. That came from eating. That came from training. That came from growing. A woman in the gym the other day said to this other girl, well, how come I don't have a butt like yours? And I love this woman for saying that back to her. And she said, because you don't want to do what it's going to take to get a butt like me. And you're probably going to have to gain 15 pounds.
I love that.
And she was giving the example of like when she was pregnant. But she was like, you know, during my pregnancy, I worked out, I gained weight, which in case grew my butt so that then when I lost the weight, the muscle was still there.
Yes.
So yes.
Because she worked it.
Correct. So in order to look like you, in order to look like me, we don't just, this isn't skinny.
Right.
This is muscle, to your point, that we have put on to then burn all day long. And it works. And I say this all the time, muscle is expensive real estate.
It really
costs your body a lot of money. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, think about having grass in Southern California.
Oh my God.
It costs a shit ton of money to have a beautiful lawn in California.
To keep it green. And I can attest to that.
Fertilize it. Yep. You've got to water it.
And water's
expensive. You've got to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Or you can buy fake grass and it costs you nothing. And I want you to think of the fake grass as your fat and the real grass as your muscle. It doesn't cost you jack shit to have that fake grass, to have that muscle. So your body, which is a very smart machine, is going to say, okay, well, you're not feeding me, to your point. You're not feeding me enough to keep this expensive. You're not watering enough to keep this grass. So we're going to kill the grass. Okay, so it's the same thing in your body. If you're not feeding your muscles, your body's going to kill that off and it's going to just store fat. And then you're like, oh, but I lost 20 pounds. 20 fucking pounds of what?
Okay.
Your muscle.
You've been in this industry how many years now?
Almost 20 years.
Okay. And you've seen, like I have seen, all these different magic pills, so to say, come and go. And we all know that there's a bad outcome when they come out. We're just like, that's not good. And let's go back to the whole, this is, and there's money to be made in the entire industry it just circles because, okay, so Ozempic face, that's what they're talking about now, to where it's like, they're like, oh, they have Ozempic face. Well, no, what it is you've lost so much weight so fucking fast
and
so your skin did not have the time to have the elasticity and the collagen to actually, as you're losing the weight, to actually go with it.
Correct.
And shrink along with it. That's what's called elasticity.
Yeah.
But what happens is you guys are losing so much weight so fast that it is sagging. And then what happens, I couldn't believe this. It was like a full circle. The one person that was talking about this, that they actually, prescribe Ozempic in their office is a plastic surgery company.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yes. So if you lose too much weight,
get your facelift.
Right. Come here. Exactly. So come here and get your Ozempic.
Right.
You're going to lose a shit ton of weight. Your face is going to sag. You're going to look terrible. But guess what we have for you?
Yeah.
We have the fillers. We have the Botox. And if it's really bad, we can do a facelift on you.
And when your boobs sag, we'll fill those up too. It's like, oh, geez.
Yes. And it's all from this one shot.
Yep. That everyone is getting milked on.
Exactly. That it's the new thing.
No.
It's great if you have diabetes because that's what it's made for.
For sure.
Okay. It helps control your blood sugar, your insulin, all of that. So, but if you're not a diabetic,
right,
this is not what it's made for.
Not what it's made for.
So stop taking the easy way out.
And even what you said about the face, like, again, if people don't put that correlation together, like if you get Botox, Where are they injecting it? They're injecting it into the muscle. In your face.
Oh my God,
so
that just reminded me of something else.
If your face is, yes, falling, then that's another indicator that you're losing muscle. Like,
dude, there was an ad and I couldn't. Okay, so there was another one. I was just in my head going, oh my God. Okay, an ad to put electrodes on your face to stimulate your muscle so you can stimulate your muscle and have muscle growth on your face after you take the Ozempic.
There's no more fucking muscle.
Exactly.
Sorry, but that's a scam.
I know. And that's what's so mind-blowing about this whole thing, how so many people are jumping on the bandwagon on the back end of it because they know what's happening and they see what's happening.
I think what is also shocking to me, and I'll just be very candid about this, is I don't have the financial ability to bleed out that kind of money. So when I do find people that are, it kind of blows my mind. And now again, I love working out. So for me, I'm like, if I had $1,000 to $1,500 extra a month, I would get a trainer. I would like, you know, I would have a higher Pilates. Like I would do all these cool things, go to Malibu, have a one-on-one Pilates, like
there's so many
I'm
things.
not going to fucking inject a shot in my ass or stomach and then be like, okay, well, I'm going to have a couple bites of this burger and like, no.
Yeah, no.
But yet there are people like that. And so I guess in my mind, it's hard for me to relate to that, to the people who can spend the $1,500, who can then go spend an additional, you know, $1,500 on the Botox, who can then go and do, and I'm like, okay, so you're spending thousands of dollars a month on the upkeep of being skinny, and yet that being skinny is going to cost you so much in a few years.
And it's probably not even a pretty skinny.
No.
It's a saggy skinny.
No.
Think of it that way too.
Okay, now I'm going to say another thing. Oh, I'm so fired up. I'm going to say another thing. I think Jeff can even attest to this because we do have a male here. But I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say most of these women, and I can speak because I am in Southern California just like you, and it's in LA and it's aesthetic. Most of these women are getting skinny for other women. Okay? Never have I heard a man say, man, I really wish my wife would just be rail fucking thin. I really wish she'd get so skinny her ass just melted into the back of her legs. I wish she would just be this flabby, soft thing. Oh God, she looks so good when her knees are all bony and shit. Women want to get fucking skinny to compete with the next dumb little bee at the mommy drop-off, at the wine party, at the thing. I'm sorry, I'm saying it is so true.
Women are competitive.
Jeff, I think you can agree. Yeah. Like, I think if a man, most men are like, they like curves, they like a butt. They don't want to be railing, but they don't want to be railing your ass bones while they're having sex with you. Like, so ladies, if you're doing this because you think it makes you more attractive to men, not that we need to be doing all things for men, but like, I think it's a given that most men would agree, stop.
Yeah.
Be yourself, have curves, be sexy, be all of this. Just like I've never heard another man say, you know, my wife would just be so much hotter if she just got her lips done. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. Right. But it's just like, who are we doing this for?
Well,
for other women.
Right. And a lot of them will say, I'm doing it for myself, which is, it depends on who that is. I mean, especially if they're 75 to 100 pounds overweight, again, I get it. But if you guys are just looking at the 25 to 30 pounds,
correct.
No.
If you're doing it for yourself, if you lived in the middle of Oklahoma on a ranch and you had 20 pounds to lose, would you still be taking Ozempic?
If they're lazy, yes.
Okay. But I'm saying, like, if you lived in if you only had 20 pounds to lose and you lived in Oklahoma, you wouldn't give a fuck what you looked like.
I don't know.
You would just be like, I live here by myself. Like, no one's looking at me.
Right. Exactly.
But to your point, the 20 to 30 pound range, the 10 pound range, where they're like, oh, I just want to lose a little bit of weight. I'm like,
they just don't understand how dangerous this drug is.
So dangerous.
They need to understand. By the way, it comes with a black box warning. Did you know that now?
I didn't.
Because they're finding thyroid tumors. It's growing thyroid tumors. That's another side effect. There are so many side effects to this drug that people aren't looking at it. They're like, oh, okay, so it stimulates my brain. Okay, great. It makes me feel full. Okay, well, maybe it's not digesting my food all that much. It's not empty. It's not emptying your stomach.
Correct.
Hello.
Correct.
There's something wrong with that. Our body works so perfectly.
Yes.
If you take care of it.
Yes.
Our body works perfectly when you take care of it. When you stop taking care of it is when all the fucked up issues start happening. And you're just putting another one right on top of it from all the junk food and all the shit that you ate to get you this way.
Right.
And if you're not going to change your eating habits and you think you're just going to take a shot and then it's all going to go away and you're going to live happily ever after, no, you're not going to live happily ever after, because these side effects are so severe and so serious that you need to rethink this just a little bit more. So there needs to be almost like a counseling,
honestly,
before you take the Ozempic. You know, you need to get on the phone.
It's harder to get a fucking driver's license than it is to get Ozempic. And we have no idea what the repercussions are long-term for this. And yet it's just like, okay, sure. But again, I'm sure in 5 years, there'll be a miracle drug to cure all the people that went on Ozempic.
Or there's going to be a
lawsuit. The drug
lawsuit.
industry will be like, oh, did you have Did you have 7 of your organs removed because you were on Ozempic? Don't worry.
Call our law office.
We'll
take care of you.
Shot for you to take, and you'll grow them back.
Or,
like, what?
Or it's going to be the call our law office, because we have a lawsuit against them because they never actually fully, truly advised you on how to take this drug.
Right.
And
well,
so
then
there's going to be
even if you are, like you had said, even if you're ordering it, okay, so now let's say you're ordering it at home. Who the fuck is regulating how much you're putting in you?
No idea.
It's
no idea. And some of these people, Ashley, they don't care.
Almost like it's like I'm at a loss for words.
Ashley, they just don't care sometimes, and that's the sad thing about it. And those are the people that I truly want to reach out and help somehow, some way. You know, because they've just lost all hope.
Right.
Or they just go, it's such an easy way to do this. It's not easy.
It's not.
No.
And I know that it's probably redundant to hear you and I say this as people who are fit and who do love to work out and take care of ourselves. But there is something truly special about that. There is something truly special, I think, about putting in the work, about, you know, whatever it might be, carb cycling, earning that high carb day, being able to lift heavier, you know, whatever it might be, there is something that is very rewarding. And when you strip that away and you're just taking a shot like this, it kind of just really, in my thought, it almost like diminishes, like you yourself are almost diminishing your self-worth, because you're not doing anything to be like, damn, dude,
God, I feel good about myself today.
10,000 steps today. Or yes, I didn't want to, but like I did, you know, hit my protein goal. It's just like, oh, where's my checkbook? And it's just inject the shot.
If they get it in the mail, where are the side effects? I mean, who's telling them, hey, you're going to get nauseous. You're going to probably throw up and vomit.
Yeah.
You're going to have diarrhea possibly. All these different side effects to where they go, oh, everything has a side effect. No, this really has side effects.
Yeah.
You're going to get brain fog. You're going to feel like ass for a while, you know, because you're also, your body's not getting the nutrition that it fucking needs.
Bingo.
Because it's not digesting correctly.
Right.
Just think about all the nutrition that our body needs. It goes through our gut digests and tells everything where to go. And if it's not emptying out and it's fermenting and spoiling in your stomach, what is that doing with nutritional wise?
Correct. And what are you doing after? So let's take the example, like you had said, of the person who needed the Ozempic, who needed the 40 pounds, 50 pounds, who did it, lost the weight like my client, and she's working with me. Okay. What are you doing? Because most people, if they're going that route, I do think they need to have a plan. If you're delegating $500 to $1,000 a month on the shot, then I would highly encourage you to then make sure that you have that reserved for at least 6 months to work with a coach, to work with a trainer, so that it's like, hey, I did lose the weight. Now I can move a little better. Now let me go into the gym and get a trainer for 6 months. Now let me go and work with someone on my nutrition. Not just, I lost the weight and I'm going to fingers crossed that I can maintain this, because chances
without working out,
you probably
without changing
can't.
your diet.
Right. And I, as a healthy person, I think I told you this, like about a year ago, I went through this whole gut protocol because same kind of a thing. I wasn't seeing the result in the gym that I wanted. I did this whole protocol. She was like, yes, you're having some gut issues. And this is me being healthy. And she was basically saying, your body's not breaking down the food the way it should. I didn't have like enough stomach acid. And so she's like, you really, doesn't matter how much protein, how many carbs you're taking in, your body's not able to absorb that. And I was like, oh, okay. Now that's me. Again, imagine someone that is like pouring sand into this hole.
I can't even imagine.
And it's like
all they're taking in is sugar and processed foods and all these insulin spikers.
So many insulin spikers.
I mean, honestly, it's just the one of the worst magic pills that have come along.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
I mean, I'd rather people go back to taking Adderall to be skinny. I mean, that was like the mommy thing. It was
well, at least you're getting the nutrition in your body when you are eating, and hopefully you'll change it.
Correct.
You know?
But like or at least it gave you the energy.
Right.
I feel, God, it is. I think to me, there's so many things that shock me, but I think the last thing I'll leave you with, I'll let you close us out, is just that it's shocking to me. And maybe I'm the one who's out of tune. I don't know how uneducated or unaware people are. I don't mean to say uneducated, but knowing what I know, which I would say is very small compared to like the deep research that's out there. But knowing what I know and knowing how bad it is and how many serious side effects there are, it blows my mind how casually and recklessly
you're absolutely
people
right.
are taking it.
You're
that to me is what
right.
is very scary.
Yes. They're not
even like
doing
I said,
research.
Hearing that woman today, like, I know you told me to stay away from it, but I'm just curious what it will do. The fuck?
What it's going to do is it's going to give you some serious, really shitty side effects.
Correct. That might not be reversible.
It's going to really fuck up your gut.
You want to test that out?
I mean, our gut is like you said, our gut is where everything stems from. Everything. Our hormones, our acids.
The mothership.
It is. Our serotonin is in our gut. Everything. And then you're going to tell me that you're just going to, it's okay. It's okay to have food sit there for like a week and not empty out completely and have, intestinal issues and not go, oh my God, the list goes on.
But they'll just get a colonic for that.
Yeah.
And they'll just do this for that.
Ashley,
and
are
they'll
people just lazy? What's the deal?
Lazy. Stop being lazy.
Stop. So this is our opinion. We're not doctors. This is our opinion on the Ozempic. We've wanted to talk about this for a very long time. And today was the day, and we've heard so much from so many people out there that you guys just do your research. Really, honestly, dive deep into just, all the side effects, what it's going to do. I think that if people actually read all the side effects, true side effects, that they might think twice about it. But people don't even go on and Google anything.
Oh, no.
Go to ChatGPT, Google it, find out they will tell you everything you need to know about it.
And also, in that same thing, get an opinion from someone who's not financially benefiting from you. Because any doctor who's writing you a prescription is 100% financially benefiting you. Any gym, any med spa, any clinic.
I didn't even think about that.
Is
absolutely
saying it's good for you.
Right.
Are they fucking financially benefiting from it?
And
because
are they telling you?
Well, ask somebody who's not.
Again, it should come with counseling. It's like, if you're going to go on this shot, then you need to go through a 4-week course of nutrition.
Yeah.
Another 4-week course of movement, workout, exercise.
What is your muscle when you start, and what is your muscle at 4 weeks?
Absolutely.
If you're not getting a body scan to figure that out, and you're not monitoring that, then you have no business being on it.
If this were the guidelines, okay, I don't have a problem with it.
Right.
But they're just throwing it out there to the masses.
Right.
And they're going to make a shit ton of money off it. And a lot of people are going to really, they're not going to fare well. Let's put it this way.
No.
In the long term.
Right.
Th're going to be pissed off because they're going to do this. Nobody told me.
Nobody told me. You're so right. You're so right. Nobody told me.
We're telling you. We're telling you.
Yeah. Listen the fuck up.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I'm glad we could just be honest.
Awesome conversation today.
Just let it rip.
Exactly.
It's something that I'm clearly very passionate about.
Me too.
It's just, don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on Go Figure. And until next time, we're out. Thank you.
Peace out, guys.